Am I the a-hole for not wanting my autistic sister to come to my birthday party? I, 15F, am turning 16 soon and I'm having a pretty big party to celebrate. I have a stepsister, 16F, who is autistic. She is fairly high-functioning but very spoiled and throws tantrums whenever she doesn't get what she wants. When I was little, she would always ruin my birthday parties, so I stopped having parties with my mom's family. I usually have parties with just my dad's family and my friends. This year, I'm turning 16, so I'm having a bigger party which my dad is mostly paying for, but I'm inviting my mom, stepdad, stepbrother and half-siblings, 13M and 11F. I'm having a party with about 90 people, and over the weekend my grandma is gonna take me and some of my friends and cousins to their cabin in the mountains. I do not want my stepsister to come to the party or to the cabin. I know she's going to ruin it. She gets jealous whenever I get anything, and my dad is planning to gift me my dream car at the party, so I know she's gonna throw a tantrum. She always steals the attention from me and I just don't want her there. I'm not inviting her to the cabin either because it's just for my cousins on my dad's side and my friends. I'm not that close to my stepsister. Besides, we're going to hike, boat, ride horses, and do other outdoor events that I know my sister can't handle. She's gonna start crying if we try to go on the water, and she can't walk further than half a mile without getting tired. Yesterday my stepsister told me that she's really excited for my party because it's at the zoo and she loves it there and she has never stayed in a cabin before. I told her that she's not invited and she started crying and ran to her room. My mom called me an uncaring brat for not inviting her and telling her so bluntly. She said that her and my stepdad aren't coming either if she's not invited. I don't think I'm the asshole because it's my party and I don't want her to ruin it. Am I the a-hole for shrugging I don't know when cops came to my dorm room door? So I am 22, attend a university in DC with a roommate on campus, also am 22. Last night, there were 3 of us in the room. A girl I'm talking to that spends the night sometimes, let's call her Evie, my roommate, let's call him Mason, and myself. I'm awoken at 7:16 a.m. or so by Evie and she's telling me someone is knocking at the door. I hear it, and it's loud and consistent. I'm thinking, who the hell is at our door at this hour? I open the door, I see an RA and 2 cops standing there. They ask me my name, I answer, and then they ask if Mason Richardson is my roommate, all in a hurried manner. I answer yes and tell them I'll get him. I tell him someone is at the door, and he gets dressed to go open it. He asks who it is and I shrug in an I don't know way, mostly because I'm still shocked seeing cops at my door at this hour. He took his precious time to open the door, though, and they were aggressively knocking on the door. I'm thinking, dude, can you hurry up? And what the hell is about to happen? He opens the door, they exchange words and I hear mom somewhere in there. He eventually comes back in and asks, why were you acting so scared when I asked who it was? You never seen cops before? I respond, dude, I don't know because I'm still trying to process all that just happened. Let me add that he also has 2 phones, so when I see cops, I'm wondering if the reason he has them is going to come to light. Later that day, me and Evie are theorizing what the hell all of that hoopla was about, and we thought his mom sent them because she was unable to contact him. Then Evie says she saw him on the phone with him mom just last night. She's somehow involved though because she came up, but we're just so confused. So today he brings it up, and he tells me he was upset about me saying I don't know as a response because it could have been something much more serious, and that all the people he told agreed that it was fed behavior, which basically means a snitch or someone unloyal. Am I the a-hole for telling my stepdaughter I don't love her as much as my biological daughter? I, 52F, have been married to my husband, 54 meters, for the last 5 years, together for 6. I have a daughter, 25F, with my late former husband, and my current husband has a daughter, 22F, from his previous marriage. My husband divorced his ex about 7 years because she was a lazy manipulative bitch, his words. Unfortunately, my stepdaughter seems to have followed in her mother's footsteps. Ever since I came into the picture, she blamed me for ruining any chance of her dad and mom ever getting back together and behaved toxically. She regularly messed up all the rooms of the house. When I would tell her to clean it up, she gave me the cliché "you're not my mom" spiel. Whenever her dad declined to give her something, she would cry crocodile tears or throw a tantrum until he gave in. She would also tell lies about me. She was a nightmare. When she turned 19, my husband finally had enough and kicked her out. It's been 3 years since and her behavior seems to be improving a little bit, but things are still tense between her and me. Fortunately, I don't have to see her on a daily basis, so I can live with it. Both my daughter and stepdaughter have children of their own. My daughter has a 2-year-old girl with her husband while my stepdaughter has a 1-year-old son with her boyfriend. My daughter wants to save up for a house with her husband, so she asked me if I could babysit while she works. I was fine with that. I have a part-time WFH job, so I agreed to do it. My stepdaughter found out about this arrangement a few days ago, called me to ask if I could do the same for her child. She couldn't ask her bio mom because she lives in another state. I just said no. It's not that I hate her kid. It's because one child is a handful already and I don't want to give up my job, which I enjoy doing. She kept probing but I still gave her the same response. She then tried to emotionally manipulate me by asking if I loved my bio daughter more than her. I flipped it on her and asked her if she loved her bio mom more than me. She said yeah because she's my mom. So I told her that I likewise love my bio daughter more than her because she's my daughter. When she heard that, she lost her shit and started calling me a bunch of names. I just cut the call and blocked her number. My husband is on my side but says I shouldn't have indulged in her nonsense. I see where he's coming from, but she's an adult and if she wants to play stupid games, then she deserves stupid prizes. I don't owe her any favors after how she's behaved and treated me over the years, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't have said what I said. Am I the a-hole for wearing clothes that wouldn't fit my friend? I, 23F, have a friend Sarah, 24F. Recently Sarah has gained some weight, and so brought some new clothes. I met her this week and she was complaining about how she had tried on a dress and it hadn't fit, however she wasn't able to return it as she had waited a day too long. I agreed that was annoying, but the dress looked cute and I didn't think it should go to waste, so I offered to buy it from her. She agreed. It was a little big in places but I really liked how it looked and it's probably one of my favorite dresses. On Friday Sarah was hosting a birthday party for her boyfriend Sam, 25M. Most of the other girls were wearing dresses. I decided to wear the dress I brought from Sarah as no one else has seen it yet and it was cheaper than buying a new dress. Before I left I took a photo with some of the other girls who were coming. Sarah messaged me asking if I could please not wear that. Turns out she hadn't brought it from the shop. It was actually a gift from Sam and she didn't want to tell him that it didn't fit. This dress was much more expensive than she had told me and come from a specific designer. At this point we were all about to get in my friend's car, and I wasn't about to tell them to wait for me, so I just went and acted like I hadn't seen the message. When we got there, Sarah took me aside and told me she would give me a lift home to change. I said no and she told me to leave. At this point I was annoyed. I said it was Sam's birthday and if he had an issue he could say. Later that evening he complimented the dress and said it was just like one he had brought Sarah not that long ago for their anniversary. At that point she said she wasn't feeling well and went upstairs. Am I the a-hole for punishing my daughter for not helping us search for my niece? My daughter 17 and niece 6 are the only grandkids in our family. My niece was a rainbow baby and the only child in our family. I found out about my daughter when she was 9, so we missed most of her childhood, so naturally she gets a lot of attention. My daughter is clearly jealous of her and has been very mean towards her. A few days ago we all went shopping and my niece went missing in the crowd. Naturally we all panicked and started to search for her while my daughter was on her phone playing. I told her that niece is missing and she said good, I hope she is not found, and went back to her phone, so when we got home I grounded her for a month. She thinks I was the asshole.